Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW 2020 where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. Now, this episode is the Prelude to Glory, our first ever pay-per-view, the last stop before Bound for Glory, and there's some big matches. Yes, it's the B pay-per-view out of the two pay-per-views that are going to be back to back, but although it's the B one, it is still stacked with some great matches. If you missed the previous episode, which was all of the final build, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here what I put at the end of the last episode in case you missed that as well, which was me running down the whole card, the theme song for the pay-per-view, everything. I will go through that, and that song will be playing in the background of the entire episode, is what I'm hoping, in the background rather than the usual one that we usually have. So I'll put that in like now, and then at the end of this episode will be me going through all of the matches for Bound for Glory. If you don't like it being at the end of the previous episode and the start of the next episode, then tell me in the comments down below and I will change that ready for Bound for Glory for you. But that is currently the way I'm going to go about it, so if you don't moan about it, then I won't change a thing and I'll just keep it the way I'm doing it now. So yeah, I'll put that on the screen now. Right, so as you can see on the screen, this pay-per-view, the Prelude to Glory, is the theme song for this is Earth Home by Tokyo Myers. It suits this pay-per-view perfectly. As you can see, it's quite intense. It's only instrumental, so don't expect any words, but suits it down to an absolute T. Thank you to Tokyo Myers for the song of choice for Prelude to Glory. Anyway, I'll run through the card now. So, as you all know, Chris Ray has been running his mouth since winning that X Division title. He's proven to everyone with his matches with Willie Mack that he is capable of putting on some absolute amazing matches, and his other matches with other people have been amazing too. And at the Prelude there will be a Battle Royal. They don't have to be contracted to Impact to participate, and the winner will receive a title shot at Bound for Glory. Who that will be, none of us know. None of us know a single participant in this Battle Royal, which means it is open to absolutely anybody to win it, and it's going to be a very hard one to predict. The other match on the card, Jake Crist versus Tommy Dreamer, an absolute intense rivalry that has been violent from the very beginning, and it's only going to get more violent from here. These two face off in a hardcore battle. I don't even know what the match will be. I'll see what I can get away with on pay-per-view, see what the broadcasting companies will allow me to do, but I will try to put on the most brutal match possible, because trust me, these two deserve to be put in the most brutal match possible. After all this build-up, after everything, they deserve that. Who will come out on top? We don't know. Will it be the younger Jake Crist, or the older, more experienced ECW legend in Tommy Dreamer? We'll have to find out. The other match that has been recently changed is the North versus the Rascals. These two teams have been going at it since the beginning of this series, when the number one contenders for the tag titles were determined. The North just wanted to get involved. They wanted to take their frustrations out. They took it out at the Rascals' expense, and the Rascals have been feuding with them ever since. Now, Dez has unfortunately been injured in one of the previous matches with the North, leaving Trey to fill in his place. After the disappointments of the Bound for Glory series, can he put them to the side to be able to defeat the North? We'll have to find out. The only women's match on the card is Jordan Grace versus Madison Rain. These two almost having an ego battle. Madison Rain has this never say die attitude. She just keeps going at it and at it at Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace has just been going about things at her own accord, not even getting in the face of Madison Rayne, but it is Madison Rayne that has ticked off Jordynne Grace a little bit too far, and it has led to this. Which one of these two will come out on top? The younger Jordynne Grace or the more experienced Madison Rayne? Very similar to that Jake Chris Tommy Dreamer match there, but this one's a little bit less violent but a bit more personal. Then the second biggest match on the card, but possibly one with some massive implications, is Heath's possible final stand. It is a 6-way match, a 6-pack challenge, if you want to call it that, between Heath, Frank Mir, Carlito, Jeff Cobb, James Storm and Aaron Stevens. These 6 all have amazing potential, but which one will take that long-standing contract that will last a long time, we'll have to find out. You've got the experience of Carlito and James Storm in there, who have been in the industry for years. You've got Frank Mir and Jeff Cobb, who are just coming on the scene, and Aaron Stevens, who's just been consistently good for many years, with Heath in the background, who's probably got a very similar record and reputation to Stevens. It's very hard to pick a favourite. You guys might be able to pick a favourite yourselves, but it's going to be a hard one to choose. And as I said before, it may not mean that they don't get a contract ever. It just might mean that they have to wait a little while longer for it. And the main event, the winner of the Bound for Glory series will be determined. And who will it be? These 4 have managed to get into the top 4 of the Bound for Glory series standings, and they deserve their places here. It has been many weeks, I think about 10 weeks worth of action in the Bound for Glory series, each one getting more and more brutal than the other, and it has led to this. Miro versus EC3 versus Ace Austin versus Sami Callihan. All in their own right deserve to win this. EC3 topped the table before the special matches earlier on in the week. Ace Austin topped the table overall after the special matches earlier this week. Miro had been dominant pretty much throughout the whole thing until like the final few weeks where he just couldn't quite pick up a win. He's lost a lot of momentum going into this. And Sami Callihan, with the big brains and just the mastermind nature of his actions, he purposely lost matches just so he got the easier run so he could get into this match, and he is not as battered as the other 3. It's there for the taking. It really is there for the taking. This pay-per-view will be incredible, and it all sets up Bound for Glory 2. Right, so hopefully that's refreshed your memories of all the matches that are going to be on the Prelude, on the pay-per-view today. And yeah, if anything happens before the pay-per-view, obviously I'll show you. If not, we'll just get straight into it. Right, so we've got an incident between Scott D'Amore and Alex Shelley, where Scott D'Amore is passing on psychology tips to Alex Shelley. That's obviously not going to help for this particular pay-per-view, but it will definitely help for the Bound for Glory, well, for Bound for Glory. So yeah, lovely stuff there. Glad that's going on. So yeah, that's all the stuff ready for this pay-per-view. I'll book it all and then we'll run through it and see what happens. Right, so I've booked the show. Everything looks good. I am happy with it again. Not many angles on this show, of course. Mainly matches because it's pay-per-view. But yeah, it looks good. I just don't know how the matches are going to turn out. Obviously, we've got some amazing matches. I think I've set out the show right. Could go horribly wrong. I don't really know. Let's just get into it and see what happens. So we start off the show with Heath's match. Can he gain the contract? And he does. Only just, but he does. So he defeats Aaron Stevens, Jeff Cobb, Carlito, James Storm and Frank Mir in about 23 minutes. I think it's a long match. It could even end up being the longest match on the show. when Heath pinned Aaron Stevens with a sweetness. Aaron Stevens 45, Heath 47, Jeff Cobb 53, Carlito 43, James Storm 50, Frank Mir 45. All of them performing to the highest standard on the grandest stage, and I'm so happy they did. I don't know what's going to happen from here. Like, Jeff Cobb is someone I am quite interested in keeping. Aaron Stevens not so much. Carlito was a one-off. Frank Mir I think was a one-off. And do you know what? Jeff Cobb's the only one here that I would be disappointed with losing. So if you guys want me to keep him, I can possibly come up with a storyline to keep him in, and make sure he gets a contract. But except from that, I think that might be one of the last times we see the others. James Storm obviously we might see a couple of times because he's just a Impact Wrestling legend, so he might be someone that crops up every now and again. But except from that, I'm not too sure we'll see many of the others again. But glad to see that people like Carlito, who was the worst performing one out of everyone like expected, hasn't lost a beat really. He's still performing well. Frank Mir in one of his first ever wrestling matches 45, which is the same as Aaron Stevens. So yeah, brilliant stuff there. Great way to start the show. 55 rated segment, and Heath wins his contract. Then we got a 45 rated segment where Trey and Wentz from the Rascals defeated the North when Trey pinned Ethan Page. Now Ethan Page and Josh Alexander both got 43. Trey with a 46, an unbelievable performance by Trey there, and Wentz with a 36. Now this is one of, or if not the first time that Trey and Wentz have tag teamed together alone, and Trey just pulled it out of the bag. Obviously we've seen recently that Trey has this really good side to him. He has potential to be a main event star, but he just never quite could get the job done in the Bound for Glory series. This brings momentum forwards for him, and he wins it for the Rascals. Obviously the North are probably not going to be too happy that Trey, who is a bigger star than Dez, came in and basically picked up the pieces, because the North just weren't ready. That will probably be their excuse. But 45 rated segment, good stuff there. Then we got a 46 rated segment where Heath and Rhino... Oh, I put the wrong Chris in. Shit. Whoops. Right, I put the wrong Chris in. I am so sorry. Yeah, that's meant to be Chris Sabin, which is probably why it performed a little bit worse than normal. I didn't quite check that. We'll ignore that. That is the sort of thing that can happen on this game, is a little lapse of judgment, and look what happened. So Heath and Rhino celebrating the Motor City Machine Guns, pretend that's Chris Sabin, not Chris Bay, confronted by the Motor City Machine Guns, who go, right, you've won it, and let's see what happens at Bound for Glory then, and kind of welcome on the challenge. Then we've got a 33 rated segment where Jake Chris defeated Tommy Dreamer in a death match. We managed to get a death match on TV with a shooting star press. Tommy Dreamer got a 30, Jake Chris with a 31, and unfortunately Tommy Dreamer and Jake Chris have zero chemistry, which was my worst nightmare. Absolute worst nightmare. I think if they had any chemistry at all, that could have easily hit the 40 mark. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and I thought the worst part about it would be the fact that it's a hardcore death match. No, apparently they just don't have any chemistry at all, which is a massive pain. Tommy Dreamer taking the loss for Jake Chris. That's a big win for Jake Chris, and hopefully will propel him further up the card. Then we've got a 45 rated segment where Tommy Dreamer gets stretchered out, and Jake Chris struggles to get to his own feet. He does that shooting star press. Both of them took a bump, and Jake Chris is struggling to get to his feet as he's watching Tommy Dreamer get carted out of the building. Mainstayers like Stephen R. Mouse, Scott D'Amore, Peter Williams and ODB are there helping Tommy Dreamer out of the arena. But yeah, brutal match in the middle of the card. Then we got a 44 rated segment where Madison Rayne defeats Jordan Grace. Yes, defeats Jordan Grace with the Shining Yakuza kick following interference from Angelina Love. Yes, Angelina Love is back in Impact Wrestling. She helps out her frenemy Madison Rayne, but Madison Rayne doesn't know what to do. The last time she saw Angelina Love, they were feuding, and Angelina Love beat her. Now all of a sudden, she's helping her. They don't know if it's like a common enemy type thing or what. Like, does Angelina Love actually want to help Madison Rayne, or is she just attacking Jordynne Grace and trying to insert herself into this feud? No one really knows, but she gets a great rating for her gimmick, which is an opportunist. 44 rated segment there, lovely stuff. Then we've got a 43 rated segment where Eddie Edwards hypes the main event and says he'll beat whoever wins that match. Him and Melissa Santos have a nice little interview together, and he basically just hypes up the match that happens later on in the show. Then we've got a 49 rated segment where Dragon Lee wins the Battle Royal in 15 minutes. The final four were Curtis Axel, who is now in Impact, Thunder Rosa, and Cousin Jake. Yes, there were two women in the match. The returning Melina and Thunder Rosa. So Thunder Rosa's been involved in a few different things recently. No one really knows what's going on with her. She just seems to be all over the place. Probably just wants the title around her waist. Curtis Axel was the final one eliminated, and Warhorse. Yes, we got Warhorse as well. Got the most eliminations throughout the match, going absolutely berserk and mental. Man Fulton got involved and attacked TJP, which led to his elimination as well. As always with with a Battle Royal, it's absolutely crazy. 20 different storylines going on at the same time. Angelico was in the match. He got an adequate for his gimmick. Curtis Axel got a great. Davey Boy Smith Jr. got a great. Dragon Lee got a very good. Melina very good. Warhorse got a poor rating for his very own gimmick. I don't know how that works, but yeah. So that means at Bound for Glory it'll be Dragon Lee versus Chris Bay. So yeah, 49 rated segment there. Lovely stuff. And then this should be the main event of the evening. Miro versus EC3 versus Ace Austin versus Sami Callihan. Who comes away with the Bound for Glory series win? It is Miro. Yes, Miro wins the Bound for Glory series after pinning EC3 with the Muscle Buster, and Miro is the winner of the Bound for Glory series. I bet quite a few of you expected that, especially after his tear at the start. Miro got a 63, EC3 with a 56, Sami Callihan with a 54, and Ace Austin with a 58. All performing brilliantly again. 63 rating is incredible. I wanted around that 60 mark, so the fact that it went above that 60 mark is really, really nice to see. Obviously, all of these people have done amazing during the series, but Miro is the one that comes out on top, and he'll be facing Eddie Edwards tomorrow on Bound for Glory. And to finish off the show, Miro and Edwards stand off. Eddie Edwards comes out, he holds up the title, and there's your stare down. There is your thumbnail, as many would say, for everyone. What an image, what a way to end the show. It sets up Bound for Glory perfectly. So yeah, wonderful show. I want to see what rating it got. I'm hoping it got high-ish. We'll see. It got a 60 rating. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was hoping for about 55-ish. So the fact that it got a 60 is brilliant. Obviously, this is the B pay-per-view out the two. So yeah, Bound for Glory's got a lot to live up to. But if Prelude's got anything to go by, Bound for Glory is just going to really just show off what we can do. So yeah, it increased our popularity. Again, it will increase our popularity even more, just for the sake of the fact that it's a pay-per-view. So yeah, lovely stuff there. Really happy with that. Yeah, that pay-per-view just stole the absolute. Well, I said it stole the show. That the starting match with Heath and the main event just absolutely topped it off. It's a shame about that Tommy Dreamer match. I was really hoping for about that, just above the 45, about that 45 mark, and it didn't quite reach that, just for the fact that they just have no chemistry. which means I'll probably end that feud now. I wasn't sure whether to end that feud, but I'm definitely going to end that feud if that's anything to go by. So yeah, it will probably keep Tommy Dreamer off TV for a little bit, and then Jake Crist can go on and do bigger and better things. We'll show you my mail. So Ethan Page is apparently a natural talker, so EC3's bigging him up, and Dez has poor ring psychology. Dez wasn't even in the match, mate. I don't know what you're on about. 46,000 viewers, pay-per-view buy rate of 0.04. Lovely stuff. I'll see if it's changed our popularity at all. Not really. Obviously our popularity has gone up since we started, but it hasn't really changed because of that pay-per-view. Hopefully it changes. Hopefully it changes for Bound for Glory, basically. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm going to run through the Bound for Glory card, just like I did at the end of the last episode, and yeah, we'll show off all of the great matches we've got going on at Bound for Glory. Right, so I'm going to run through the Bound for Glory series card, but before I do, I'm going to obviously show you the song for the Bound for Glory, for 2020's Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which will be Biffy Clyro's Instant History. Now, yeah, it just suits pay-per-view perfectly. This is our first big pay-per-view. Obviously the other one was kind of a B pay-per-view. This is our first A pay-per-view, and we've got a lot of people making history and possibly some instant history in their first ever matches at an Impact pay-per-view. So we're going to start our first match. Obviously this isn't in no particular order, but one of the matches on the card is Rick Swann versus Eric Young. Now this started back at Slammiversary, where Eric Young absolutely battered Rick Swann after he did a massive comeback from injury. Rick Swann has been very angry since and has been stalking Eric Young and has been taking him out slowly, stopped him from progressing in the Bound for Glory series, and that has just annoyed Eric Young massively. These two come head to head for the first time, and we're going to see what happens when these two collide. Another match on the card is the Impact Tag Team title match between Heath and Rhino and the Motor City Machine Guns. Now the Motor City Machine Guns have kept these titles for a little while now, and Heath and Rhino, Heath's just got his contract, he's taken all this momentum into this tag team title match. Can him and Rhino take those titles away from the Motor City Machine Guns, or can the Motor City Machine Guns keep those titles just a little bit longer? We'll have to find out. Then there's the Impact Knockouts Championship match, where Deonna Purrazzo is facing Tenille Dashwood. Now Deonna Purrazzo has been a dominant champion. No one's really looks like they can touch her, and Tenille Dashwood has brought this calm nature to the division, and Purrazzo doesn't really like it. I think part of that is because she's just not sure what to expect from Dashwood, and I don't think anyone else is sure what to expect either. Can Dashwood take that title away from Purrazzo? We'll have to wait and see. Then we've got the TNA World Championship match between Moose and Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock, the inaugural TNA World Champion. Moose is obviously the one running his mouth, going around saying that he is the true champion. Can Ken Shamrock take that title away at the age of, I think, 53, away from the young, monstrous Moose? We'll have to wait and see. This rivalry has just been building and building and building. It was going to be a short one, but it's been prolonged to the pay-per-view because of how good this rivalry is, and we'll just have to see who comes out on top. Dragon Lee's just won the Battle Royal at the Prelude to get the opportunity at Chris Bay's Impact X Division title, and can he take that away? Can he take that title away from Chris Bay? Chris Bay has had some amazing matches in recent times with many people, but he has never faced anyone like Dragon Lee. Someone that is well respected in the industry, well respected around the world. Can he take that title away from Chris Bay and change the scope of Impact Wrestling for the foreseeable future? And the main event of the evening, Miro versus Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards just had an amazing match midweek for that Impact World title with Rob Van Dam, a legend of the industry, and Miro has just beaten 3 very credible contenders for that title to win the Bound for Glory series and take this title shot. Who will come out on top between these two? Both have a lot of momentum running into it, and both have looked so good in the matches that they've performed in. This could be a very, very good match and could be a very high rated one. I've got a lot of expectations for this match, and I think you guys do too. And we'll just have to see who comes away with the World Championship. Now, this is it for the Bound for Glory series card. It should be a good one. Whether any other matches get added or not, I don't know. Even I don't know that yet. But we'll have to wait and see. But those are the 6 confirmed matches for the Bound for Glory card, and it looks like a very, very good one. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how this pay-per-view does, especially after the rating of the Prelude, which I did not expect it to be that high. Hopefully Bound for Glory lives up to that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you to Biffy Clyro for the song for the Bound for Glory series, for the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, and thank you guys for watching and continuing your support with this series. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. It does help out the channel, and make sure you don't miss an episode, especially when these are coming out not at frequent times. They are coming out possibly once a week, and not on the same day every week. So to make sure you don't miss a thing, please do subscribe. Hit that like button if you like this video and liked the Prelude pay-per-view, and you're excited for the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. And I shall see you in the next video. See ya!